What's going on, my fellow A-plussers? It's your boy Adam Perez. We're back once again with a brand new video review as we're set to finally tackle the official trailer for Superman. That's right, it is in fact finally here. We've been waiting months ever since the teaser trailer a long, long time ago. We have been trying to predict for months when it was going to drop. We've been wrong the entire time. But it is, in fact, finally here with less than 2 months to go before this movie is a reality on the big screen. We finally got the official trailer, and when I say this trailer is peak AF, that is almost maybe an understatement. This trailer was everything that I certainly could hope for. And this is probably going to be the kickoff of a massive sort of marketing campaign for this film with 2 months left to go. Want to keep people's mind very fresh on the idea that a Superman movie is certainly about to drop. And I think the turnout is going to be huge for this movie. And that's just me personally. I'm calling for big things when it comes to this movie. But let's talk about this trailer, man, because this really had a great balance of everything that I really wanted to see, whether that be character relationships, great visual effects. James Gunn really gave his VFX team plenty of time to go ahead and make this stuff look as clean as possible. Incredible action sequences, incredible side characters, incredible dialogue, incredible moments from this trailer alone. Well, let's dive into it. First and foremost, I gotta talk about the Lois and Clark relationship in here. Clearly, there's great romantic chemistry. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the sequence that we see here of the interview is actually the audition that David and Rachel had for each other, the audition and chemistry read to make sure that they certainly work together on screen. This is part of that conversation. And so to be able to see this interview and see what their romantic connection is like, but also the different ideologies and the idea that they don't necessarily always see eye to eye and pushback and maybe friction that might be within this relationship as they kind of fine tune things and work things out was really fascinating to me. But I think what stood out to me were two things. One, the character personality of that of Clark, and for David Corenswet to also be able to switch it and give us a different demeanor of him as Superman. I mean, just the way he's talking to Lois to the moment to where they begin their interview and he sits upright in his chair and he says, "Miss Lane." I mean, it gives me Christopher Reeve vibes in the sense of being able to have two completely different personalities, the duality between Clark and Superman. It's very subtle, but when he says Miss Lane, there is a completely different aura about him. Secondly, I thought just the opening interview segment in here did so much in regards to laying the groundwork of what the world of the DCU is that we find ourselves in. If you guys recall, this is a world that's already populated with superheroes. Heroes have been around for a very long time. It's not like this is an origin story and people are just being introduced to Superman for the very first time. So when they talk about there being friction and fire against Superman and pushback for the idea of him going to another country and saving people during a war, it really shows the politics of things, right? Because I'm sure with other superheroes out there, I'm sure there have been plenty that have just wanted to go out there and save people. And that's certainly the mentality of Superman here, right? He's just got the classic, like, I'm a superhero. I just want to do good things. I just want to save people's lives. People were literally going to die. How can I sit on the sidelines and not want to save those people, right? Just very simplistic point of view. But Lois introduces us to the idea that other people feel like you're representing different countries or that you're representing something else, and he's like, I'm just representing me, right? But people certainly put it on a much bigger sort of political scale of crossing boundaries or borders and going into other countries sort of thing. So I am curious as to, was there a big event that happened that led these people to thinking to themselves like, no, we don't want your superheroes here in our country sort of thing. Let's not cross any borders sort of thing with our superheroes. It just makes things a little bit more fascinating in that regards. The pushback that Superman gets from just being a hero. And then secondly, Lex Luthor as effing president? Yes, this is exactly what I've wanted to see in live action for such a long time. Now, I didn't catch up with the Superman and Lois television series on CW, so I don't know if they ever introduced Lex as a president in there or not. I know Supergirl was really close. They kind of teased it in the later seasons, and I always used to think if given maybe one or two more seasons, Supergirl might have gone with the president Lex Luthor, but they never did it. So the fact that this is our first sort of live action on the big screen iteration of Lex Luthor as president, this is everything that I really wanted to get. But it shows us the key figures certainly in power here. We also get to see Rick Flag Sr., fresh off of his time in Creature Commandos. Is him being a part of the Secretary of Defense? Is he sort of like is that a promotion for him ever since his what happened to him in Creature Commandos? We then see him in Peacemaker season 2 as the head of Argus. Does he then get demoted? Is Argus a demotion from a Secretary of Defense? I don't know. Are they both under the same branch? Is Argus like a secret company underneath the Department of Security or a Secretary of Defense? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comment section box below. But it is kind of cool to see him playing a key role and the engineer. The lady that uses the nanotech technology to be able to change her body into various different weapons in here looks incredible. She comes from the Authority comic book movie that James Gunn wants to make, but I don't believe there's been a lot of movement on it. But this was one hell of an impression. The first time that we truly get the opportunity to see her in a trailer, whether she's slicing some of these Fortress of Solitude droids or going face to face with Crypto himself or face to face with Superman in the big stadium that we see. What looks like it's going to be a pretty climactic battle in there, but she looks incredible in here. And again, the special effects having the time to clean things up and look as amazing as it certainly does. I think the engineering here is truly going to shine. And the person that's still walking around with Lex Luthor in the all black, people continue to say Ultraman, Ultraman, Ultraman. I don't know why, but in the back of my head, something keeps screaming to me in a sense of how does Lex Luthor get into the Fortress of Solitude? Like, I don't think you can just walk into the fortress. I think you need some type of Superman DNA, Superman like biometrics that matches his almost perfectly. And I'm not too familiar with Ultraman in the sense of I know he comes from like a different universe sort of thing. Like, is he exactly like Superman? Is he a Superman, cut from, the same DNA sort of thing, just a different alternate version of him? Could that be the case? Or in my head, I continue to theorize Bizarro. I don't know why, but I can just see the idea of Lex Luthor experimenting with some Superman DNA and creating like a Bizarro of his own, certainly walking around. There's a great shot in here when Superman gets arrested and Homeboy literally slams his face into the concrete and like makes a dent into the ground. So this guy is super powerful. But I don't know why. Something just keeps telling me it's bizarre. It's bizarre. I don't know. Maybe some of the like pocket universes that we continue to go to. It just feels like James Gunn is really tapping into sort of like not so much the modern age Superman from the comics, but like Silver Age comics, where it's very fantastical, it's very sci-fi heavy, very mythical also, right? And I don't know. I just feel like James Gunn is going to give us a side of Superman on the big screen we haven't really seen that feels very in his comic book route, if you will. And so I cannot wait to see what we get. We also get some more supporting characters in here. The return of Green Lantern. I love the scene where he just like uses his Green Lantern ring to like shoo away or like swipe away and create a hand and throw like some of these soldiers back, sort of thing. Like they're almost like nuisance to him, almost like shoo fly shoo. There's a great moment here with a Hawk Girl giving out a fantastic like warrior scream, if you will. I'm ready for Isabel Merced to just kill this role. I think she's going to be brilliant in here. And then we get to see a little bit more of Mr. Terrific utilizing a lot of his technology coming off one of his brand new ships. They got a great shot in here of the three of these heroes sort of hovering in the sky with the sun kind of glaring behind them. Great cinematography, great sort of directing skills. I think it's going to look beautiful on the big screen, to be quite frank with you. But this trailer truly just gave me goosebumps with some great lines. The musical score continues to win me over, but it's really the relationships and the lines that made me think to myself, like, this movie's gonna have so much heart. I can't believe it. Outside of just seeing Superman save lives, which it's always great to see superheroes doing the superhero thing. The Pa Kent line in your actions, your choices, that's what makes you who you are. Please don't kill Pa Kent off, all right? Like, I would like to see Pa and Ma Kent live a long life in Superman sequels and have sort of that father son relationship and those really great sort of moments of Pa Kent giving great words of wisdom to Superman or Clark Kent when he truly, truly needs it. And this was definitely one of them in here. And Ma Kent coming through too with the I just clean your boots, let me get your costume sort of thing. I absolutely love it. For some reason, it gave me vibes of that of like a kid coming home from his city college or something like that and bringing his loads of laundry with him. So he visits mom and dad while mom does his laundry for him. I can see Ma Kent back there like scrubbing onto that Superman costume, getting it nice and shiny for him. That's the type of vibe that I wind up getting from that moment in the trailer, and it was incredible to me. But also, there's a really great shot too when Superman's falling and he winds up falling into the concrete in Metropolis, and you see the people, the citizens, like galvanize around him, and you've got just this one citizen, this one civilian going into there asking Superman if he's okay, helping him up, sort of thing. And look, Superman don't really need nobody's help, right? But it is something about going that extra mile of seeing like the citizens come and look out for you also, right? Like you look out for them, they look out for you. And for him to be there to help him out of that hole and whatnot and allow Superman to kind of get back to his business. When I see that, when I see the citizens uh of this of Metropolis come to his aid, it kind of gives me vibes of that of like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 scene when he saves those people in the train and just before he falls, they catch him and then they like carry him over his head and they bring him down, right? Giving him the attention that he needs to make sure that he's okay and that he's ready to go and make sure that their hero is safe. It gives me that exact type of vibes. The fact that people in Metropolis, or at least some people in Metropolis, certainly do appreciate what he's doing for them, certainly as a hero. It's just a really great vibes that I wind up getting from there. But incredible camera work. The action looks incredible. I love seeing Superman with a little bit of a personality, especially that shot where he says, "Hey, buddy, eyes up here," and then he winds up shooting up into the sky. Camera following him. Also, there's another great shot where he angles himself flying into frame, and then you got the quick shot of the camera behind the cape as he goes to punch the kaiju. I mean, great editing, great camera work, great visual effects all coming together to just make the trailer and these action pieces just feel as epic as they possibly can be. I've been wanting to see Superman fight. I've been wanting to see him save some lives, and it looks like we're going to get a little bit of all of that, to be quite frank with you. So I think this trailer literally had everything that I wanted to, and it shows me that James Gunn is bringing a lot of balance to this, from the drama, from the great character relationships in the building, the great action, the great special effects, and I'm hoping a really great story certainly behind it as well. But look, guys, these are simply my A plus opinions. I always want to know yours. I think this trailer was peak AF. I don't know if we're gonna get ourselves a second trailer for this or not, before the movie winds up dropping. But if this is all I get, along with some marketing spots here and there, that's all I like, honestly, I don't even know if I want to see a second trailer or any other, like, TV spots. If anything, I will go for behind the scenes featurettes right now. I will go for anything that highlights Mr. Terrific, Hawkeye, along with Green Lantern. Oh, and Metamorpho was in this freaking trailer also, um, which is pretty cool. It looks like Metamorpho's almost like a prisoner. I am curious if he's, like, being experimented on. He seemed to be in some sort of like metahuman prison too. We see him changing himself into different elements in here, and the shot that Superman is in the same cell with him, it looks like they forced him to turn himself into kryptonite to go ahead and weaken Superman so the guards can kind of beat up on him. So the Metamorpho storyline is interesting. It feels like he's maybe not a hero yet. or he's being manipulated and utilized by Lex Luthor. And maybe by the end of this movie, he will get into that hero role. I really have no idea, but fascinating choices to have us see him in this particular trailer makes me curious as to what his role is certainly going to be. But Metropolis looks like it's about to be devastated. And I cannot wait to see what these big action pieces look like. But yeah, guys, I need to know your thoughts in the comment section box below. If there's anything that I missed, anything else you want to elaborate on, I'm all ears. Let's talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it later this upcoming Sunday on our live episode of A Plus Hero Report at 11 p.m. Central Time. But until then, do us a big favor as always, guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A plus. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.